Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's lesson is on multiplication using the area model. It's a 4th grade review. So this is what you were taught in 4th grade. Our goal is today I will multiply using the area model. Now some of you I know have learned other methods. We're still going to be practicing this method. So for this tonight and for the next 2 days, I want you to practice this method. Okay. Our vocab tonight, just a quick reminder, in a multiplication problem, the two numbers you multiply are called factors. So those are factors, and the answer is called your product. So that's just a quick review, okay? That the numbers I multiply together are factors, and the answer is a product. Okay, another word that you'll hear me using is partial. Partial just means part of. It's a part of something. And you're going to hear this in the next few lessons. Partial is a part of something. Okay, some notes we have tonight are just some review. Now, we had expanded form in Unit 1, but I want to remind you of how you did expanded form when you were younger, because you're going to need that for this. So for 48, this 4 is in the tens place, which means it's worth 40, plus you have 8. That's how we expand these numbers in the lower grades. This 326 means I have 300 plus 20 plus 6. And one more, this 819 means I have 800 plus 10 plus 9. Okay, so even though that's not how we do expanded form in 5th grade, you will need that for the area model. Okay, our steps, and I hope this is how you learned it in 4th grade as well. My words might be different, but my actions and ideas will be exactly the same. So we're going to write the greater factor in expanded form on top. So the greater one goes on top in expanded form. The greater factor goes on top in expanded form. Then we're going to write the lesser factor in expanded form on the left of the area model. So the greater one goes on top, the lesser one goes on the left. And then we're going to find your partial products. The reason we call them partial products is you really can only have one answer. These are going to be parts of the answer. And then we're going to add the partial products. Okay, so we're going to first, step 1 and 2 is setting up your area model. Step 3 is filling in your area model. And then step 4 is really just adding all the pieces together. Okay, so here's my first one. I'm going to put up my steps so I can kind of follow them. So first I am going to write my greater factor in expanded form on top. So this is my greater factor. And when I expand that, I get 50 plus 4. Okay, and then my lesser factor is going to go on the left. So this is 20 plus 8. So my area model is going to be 2 digits by 2 digits. That's step 1 and 2. So my greater factor went on top, my lesser factor went on the left. Step 3 is, oh, sorry, you did not get to see all that. So my greater factor went on top and my lesser factor went on the left. Now step 3 is you're going to find your partial products. You're going to find the inside. So remember what we did in Unit 1. 2 times 5 is 10, and I'm going to add 1, 2 zeros. Okay. 20 times 4, so I have 2 times 4 is 8, and I'm going to add only 1 0. For this one, I have 8 times 5 is 40, and I'm gonna add the 1 0. And for this one, I just have 8 times 4, which is 32, and I have no zeros to add. So that is step 3. Step 4 is we're gonna add these. So I have 1,000 plus 400 plus 80 and plus 32. So I'm gonna add these partial products to get the full product. So remember, when you're adding lots of numbers, it's gonna be really important that your work is always lined up neatly. If you're sloppy, you might make silly mistakes. So notice how mine are lined up pretty clearly. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 3 is 11. So I'm gonna put my 1 and carry my 1. 1 plus 0 plus 4 is 5. And I get 1. So my answer is 1,512. Okay, let's try a more complicated one. And hopefully you have your steps in front of you, because I can't show my steps at the same time. Step 1 is I'm gonna take my greater factor and put it in expanded form on the top. So 300 plus 10 plus 7. Then I'm going to take my lesser factor and put it in expanded form on the left. Okay, so now we can draw our box. And this box is going to be 3 by 2. Okay, step 3 is I'm going to fill in my partial products. So I have 6 times 3 is 18, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. For this box, I have 6 times 1 is 6, and I'm going to add 1, 2 zeros. For this box, I have 6 times 7 is 42, and I only have 1 0 to add. For this box, I have 3 times 3 is 9, and I have 2 zeros to add. For this box, I have 3 times 1 is 3, and I only have 1 0 to add. And for this box, I have 3 times 7, which is 21, and I have no zeros to add. So this one gets where I really need to be careful with my adding, because there's so much I'm going to be adding. So I have 18,000 plus 900 plus 600 plus 420 plus 30 and plus 21. So 1, 2, 6 numbers. Did I get all 6? Yep. And this is where you want to be really careful again. Are your numbers lined up? So I have all these zeros plus 1 is 1. 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 0 plus 9 is 9. Plus 6 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. So put my 9 and carry my 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then 1 all by itself. So I'm getting 19,971. Okay, let's try some together. Okay, so my first one is 42 times 31. So I'm going to set up my greater factor on top in expanded form. My greater one is 42. So we have 40 plus 2. My lesser factor on the left, which is 30 plus 1. Okay, so let's create our box. This box is going to be a 2 by 2. Step 3 is let's fill in our partial products. 4 times 3 is 12 plus the 2 zeros. 3 times 2 is 6 plus only 1 0. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 0. And 1 times 2 is 2. That one was kind of quick compared to the last one I just did. So step 4 is I'm going to add those partial products. 1,200 plus 60 plus 40 plus 2. Notice my numbers are lined up, so I'm getting 2. 6 plus 4 is 10. 3, I'm getting 1,302. Okay, let's try a harder one. This one's gonna have more digits. So this one is gonna be a 3-digit one. So step 1, larger or greater number on top in expanded form, 200 plus 30 plus 1. Step 2, lesser number on the left, 20 plus 5. Okay, so let's make our box. Okay, step 3 is, now we're going to actually fill in this box with our partial products. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 2 times 5 is 10, and I need to add 2 extra zeros. 3 times 2, or 2 times 3 is 6, and I need to add 2 zeros. 3 times 5 is 15, and I need to add just 1 zero. 2 times 1 is 2, and I need to add 1 zero. And 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, now we need to add up all those numbers. So I have 4,000 plus 1,000 plus 600 plus 150 plus 20 and plus the 5. So again, I do have 6 numbers. Okay, and my lining up's pretty good. So I have 5, I have 7, I have 7, and I have 5. So I was able to get 5,775. Okay, I hope that felt pretty good for you since it was a 4th grade review. Okay, your homework is 2 problems and always rate your understanding. Have a nice night, ladies and gentlemen.